First of all, today is World Menstruation. What's happening? Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chebet Makena and thank you so much for choosing to join me today. Before we get to the video, please subscribe to my channel. We're on the road, by the way, to 500 subscribers, so please if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, please do me that favor and subscribe to my channel. So you might have seen what this video is about. Not you might, you have seen what this video is about from the title. Today I want to tell you guys about my menstruation story. Today is World Menstruation Day, and first of all, let me say this. Something that excites me the most about menstruation and the stories around it is that we can actually openly talk about menstruation. I don't know about you guys, but for me, like, I don't find it a problem anymore. You know, like, it's not like, oh my gosh, they know I am on my period and that's a problem, you know, because that's how it was for me back when I started my period. And the thing that I want, or my wish for menstruation, is that we'll put an end to girls struggling with access to sanitary towels. I don't know how policies and the government works. Like, I haven't really understood that, but for me, I usually look at, I don't know what's happening to this thing. Is it longer than this one, or what's happening? Actually understood like the policy making and the budgeting and all of that legal stuff, because for me, I'm thinking if the government has or can afford to, for example, pay MPs sitting allowance, as in, you know, I don't even know, but like, for me, I'm just thinking the government can't say they don't have enough money to allocate for distribution of sanitary towels. But again, I haven't really understood the legal stuff, like I said, but that's my number one wish for menstruation in this country. Anyway, according to how this video will go, this might end up being like a short series on my channel. Backstory. So from the previous video you guys watched, you might know that I'm part of a book club, and the book that we were reading before the pandemic started was My First Time by Janet Bugwa. So of course, after you read the book, then now you need to discuss and things like that. So my hope was to have even that discussion as part of the series, and even maybe if some members of the book club would have agreed, to have them share their first time stories. And Corona came, so you see, that was cut short. So that's why I'm saying, depending on how this video goes, this might end up being a series, but let's see how this goes. I'm going to be sharing with you the first time I got my period, my experience, and basically just how that went. Yeah, so this is a story time, actually. My first time doing a story time. Wow, my first time doing a story time on my YouTube channel. I think it was in 2005 or 2004 I got my period, and I was at home. My mom wasn't around, no one was home. It was just me and the help that we used to have at that time. So I was just in the house, and I went to the washroom, and this is something that I realized from reading Janet Bugwa's First Time. Okay, her book is like basically people talking about their first time experiences, yeah, and the first period is actually not usually read. Anyway, so I saw that brownish fluid, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's my period. So for me, it wasn't like I wasn't like, oh my gosh, what's happening to me, because I had the privilege of, you know, knowing about menstruation. A family friend of ours, or a friend of mine, her mom is a teacher, and so she had given me this book. I don't know if you guys remember, I'm sure most of you saw that book, but it was a book about, I think it was called About You, actually. So it's just a book talking about adolescence, nini. Then there's a part where it talks about, you know, how you start to, like, not symptoms like signs of adolescence. And then there's a part where I talked about menstruation, and then they said between ages 9 to, I think from 9 to 12 is when, I don't know, but like, so I was ready for it. Like, it wasn't something that I was like I was worried, what's happening to me, I'm bleeding, you know. So yeah, I had read that book, I had seen how to put on pads and everything. But let me tell you, I don't think you're ever ready to receive your period. Like, you guys tell me in the comment section, but for me, like, even after reading all that, I was like, no, I don't want this thing. No, I do not want it. Anyway, so it came. At the time I didn't have pads. I think it was still early because I think I was 9, so I think it was still early for me. Like, my mom wasn't expecting me to start my period, so like I didn't even have pads on me, and then I was alone with the help, so I didn't even tell anyone. Let me tell you something, this might come off weird, but I don't even know if my mom knows this, and she watches my channel, so probably she'll find out today. So I put tissue and sellotape, you guys. Tissue and sellotape on my, you know, underwear, and so yeah, that's how I held up for the day. It's not I couldn't access pads, it's just I was shy about it and I wasn't ready for them. Let me tell you guys, I prayed those periods away. I prayed for them to go away. I was 9 years, but I really just told God, I don't want these things, just take them away, bring them back some other time. I prayed those things away. The following day, I think it was on a Sunday. It was actually on a Sunday because I remember my experience when I went to church. So the following day, I have showered, nini, and then I don't know why my mom had picked out clothes for me, but she had picked out a cloth for me. And so it was a pink trouser, and here I am. I do not have pads, I'm on my period, and my mom wants me to put on this pink trouser to church. Hiya. So I had showered, nini, so I left my towel there. It was a white towel. I didn't even realize that there was a stain there. So my mom bumped into the towel just before we went to church. She bumped into the towel and she called me to her room. She's like, Betty, you didn't tell me. She probably can't even remember this. She was like, what's happening? Why didn't you tell me, nini? She gave me that talk. I started crying. Let me tell you guys, I cried. So she told me there's nothing to worry about, nini. Then she pulled out pads for me. She showed me how to put them on, and that was it. But still, kwanza that day when I went to church, I remember nilikuwa nasimama, and then I'm telling her, Ebu mom, sit first, just check for me kama nime mess. So I would stand up first, then she'd check for me, and then I'd see. Anyway, so yeah, that was that. Let me tell you, God answered my prayers. Those periods, they ended that day and they never came back until I was 207, until I was 12. So that's 3 years later. So this time, it was actually in 2007. Because I remember I was in class 7 and I was in boarding school, so we were in school. But this time, now because I was in boarding school, my mom had bought pads like no one's business. I had so many of them. Hi, in school, it's break time, so may I decide to go to the washroom. When I went to the washroom, I found out that my periods were back. Now this time I was like, okay, yeah, this is the reality, it's okay, now I'm gonna deal with it. But I don't know why I felt bad, like I was crying, I was moody, or maybe it's PMS, or you know, like the things that come with periods. But I was really feeling awful about it. I was feeling so bad about it. So I went to the class. I called out my best friend, my then best friend, and then she took me to the dorms. So we went to the dorms, we changed, nini, and then now we came back to class. But let me tell you how moody I was. Like I was so moody. Really, I'm a bubbly person, like I smile a lot and things like that. So that day when the teacher asked, so I bumped into the teacher on duty, and he asked me, Betty, what's wrong? You look so sad. And from that moment, I was like, everyone knows I'm on my period, and it sucked. I really did not like it and it didn't help that I was in a mixed school. Like, it just made things worse. And I remember during the time when I was starting my period is the time that always had rolled out the scented pads, and those are the ones I was using. So I don't know how, but for some reason guys used to figure out the smell of those pads, and so they would make fun of us and everything like that. And I think that's why, like, and I don't blame them. I don't blame, because first of all, the reason we were ashamed about our periods or talking about our periods, you should see me this day when I'm somewhere and I need to like change. Okay, these days I use tampons, which are not so bulky, but I would literally just not flash my pad, but you know, like I wouldn't feel shy and, you know, kunja it. You know, growing up, boys used to make fun of us, and I think it's because they were also not made to understand what this period thing is about. Because if anything, someone who doesn't go through their period, which I think should be a disease, is the one who's abnormal. You who's going through your period, you're actually very normal, and you should be very proud about it, you know. So for me, that's the one thing that really makes me happy about menstruation, that I can actually talk about it, like even put it out on YouTube and not be ashamed, because I know it's such a thing to take pride in. Like, people in the States even have celebrations. Like, I was reading, I don't know who it was, from my first time, from Janet Mbuga's book. Her mom actually bought her cake to celebrate her first time, and I'm thinking, what? Are you serious? So yeah, I think it's also that the boys weren't really taken through what this menstruation is about. They weren't made to understand that it's a normal occurrence. That's why they were making fun of us and things, and, you know, making fun of us and making us feel bad about it. So yeah, before the pandemic, I was really hoping to have people come on and, you know, like, talk about the experiences. You know, I don't know, I hope that works out. But you guys feel free to comment down below. I'd really be so happy to hear how some of you guys' first time was. So comment down below, reach out to my DM. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If there's anything you relate to, down below. But thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like, remember to subscribe. Okay, thank you. Bye guys, see you on my next video.